On today's episode of Cars Too Nice to Be in the Junkyard, we got a 96 Ford Thunderbird. What are we working on today? Today we're not working on stuff. We're just at the self-service junkyard, and I come across this and thought somebody might want to see this. I can't believe something like this has showed up at a self-serve junkyard. It's really not even rusty. Look at that. It's all there. The engine's still in it. Seat's a little rough. Somebody got and robbed that out, but pretty amazing what you come across at the junkyard. Not even, oh yeah, it's a 63. So I hope this inspires some of you to get out to your local self-serve junkyard and see what they got, because this is kind of shocking. What do you suppose it's got for power? Let's go open the roof and see. Oh yeah, the tall tower of power. Alright, I found another oddity. This might just look like a F-150, but we get under here in the hood, and that was the most unheard of variable Venturi carburetor that nobody's ever saw or worked on. Probably why this thing is here is nobody could get that working right. But if you look in there, that's not the choke plate, that's variable Venturis. Those actually open more the faster the engine runs. Another oddity. This here says it's 93, and was this somebody's engine swap project? That's the Magnum motor, fuel injected. I could have swore they didn't get this engine until the next body style, you know, the second gen. But was this somebody's swap-in project, or did it come from the factory this way? I don't know. You guys tell me. This place is just ripe with old square body Ford pickups today too. I've never seen so many here in one day. This isn't an oddity, but it's interesting. It's got a 5-speed in it. That'd be a T5 5-speed, you know, like the 80s Camaros had. It's slightly different. You can't quite just throw it in your Mustang, but you can rob parts out of it. I don't know if this is an oddity. It's just a V6, but you know, at least you can find parts for this stuff yet. The headlight door, one of them's still there. And if we just come down here a ways, well, look at that. We got the Chevy version of the Firebird. Let's take a look at this one. Look at that. No, that one's broke. I was gonna say you could score you some pretty fancy wheel covers. The seats are kind of nice too, but nope, ripped. What else we got? And once again, just a 96. But you know, if you need plastic or a fender or a door or something, there you go. Here we've got one of the last rear-wheel drive full-size GM cars. It's a, what is it? Can't tell if it's Buick or an Oldsmobile. Oldsmobile. And it's the last of them. It says 5.0 on that sticker, and you might be thinking, oh, 5.0, that's a 305, but it's not. If you look down in here, that looks like an Oldsmobile valve cover. So this has a 307 Oldsmobile V8 in it. How odd is that? If we look at the inside, I think this sucker might have been low miles. That's from, you know, sun, but look at that driver's seat. Boy, it's just, this was a nice car before it came here. The odometer says 63,688. That could, in fact, be only that many miles. Funny what ends up in the junkyard. here we go. Here's another strange one to be in the junkyard. Is this, I don't speak Dodge very good, is this a Cornet? I don't know. It's a 4-door, so I mean, if it was a 2-door, it might be more of a shame. Had a V8, distributors in the back, so that's probably a 318 or 340 or 360. Headers, somebody hopped it up. There's probably a fancy aluminum intake on there, that's why that's gone. So this is odd too. 71 Cornet. Well, how's that for a seat? Well, another old one and strange to be in the junkyard. This looks like it was probably a pretty nice car too. 78 Delta 88. It's got the V8 in it too. I looked under the hood. The sticker on this says 5.7. It's got the Oldsmobile 350. I think this one rolled over though, but you know, for 105,000 miles, it's in pretty good shape. There's that Oldsmobile 350. Oh, look at this. That's a little weird. More oddities at the junkyard. That's a real nice Flowmaster, and this is a 1994 Isuzu, and that's a real nice Flowmaster muffler that somebody just, I mean, I've done some shoddy exhaust welding job in my days, but like, was this not loud enough? And they cut it open and took the stuff out of the inside and welded it back together. I don't, look at this. And you know, this baby's a 4-cylinder. So more oddities at the junkyard. And over here, this is kind of neat. This is a 94 Chevy, throttle body fuel injected with the 454. There ain't many of these around. These would have been excellent for pulling a trailer. Not by today's standards, but back in the day when this was new, that would have pulled your trailer right along. You don't see many of these. On today's episode of Cars Too Nice to Be in the Junkyard, we got a 96 Ford Thunderbird. It's even got the V8 in it. It's got the 4.6 overhead cam jobber, and it's actually in pretty darn good shape. Crazy this is here. I mean, you know, some people like Fords. I've looked at a Thunderbird or two and thought, maybe. But, you know, seats are good, shifter's good, dash is good. Kind of crazy for this to be here. And to go along with your Thunderbird, we got a Mercury Cougar. This one's not in the nicest shape, and it's a V6, so, you know, but still, you know, back in the day, these were at least 2 doors with rear-wheel drive. This one be a 1987. It looks pretty well complete too. This could have been somebody's project too. I don't know if we can get in there or not. Yeah, this was probably in pretty decent shape before it come here. I don't know if you've ever sat in this era of Thunderbird, but when you sit in one of these, like that dash is just, it's tall and it's short, and it kind of feels like you're, I don't know, it kind of feels like you're sitting in your living room watching TV. I know that doesn't make sense, but that's kind of what it feels like. But again, another pretty nice car to be in the junkyard. I don't know if you recognize this, it's pretty stripped down, and it's not a V8, but it is a 2010 Challenger, so the day's coming. Pretty soon these will be cheap, I hope. These will be our next project cars, I hope, because these are kind of cool. Wow, look at the rust! Can you believe that? That ain't old enough to be that rusty. Jeez. Oh golly. It is a real Challenger though.
Can you get that?
No. Everybody's gonna want a Challenger now. This one's just a V6 again, like I said, but at least there's still some rear-wheel drive American cars around. I just had to come back to this thing. Whoever worked on this actually did a pretty good job. I don't know if you can see down in there, but that looks to be a real nice exhaust manifold that bolts the turbo on. There's a wastegate, and that tube we took off and took with us, it did have a blow-off valve in it. Oil pressure for the turbo. The only thing lacking on this that they probably had trouble with was a tune for the ECM and no air filter. That probably ended the whole deal. But I figured we'd look this over again, get it on camera, because when this is gone, it's gonna be gone. Somebody had a pretty neat project. The inside was even in pretty decent shape. Just pretty amazing what you find at the junkyard. It's not even really rusty. Just kind of surprising. If this was an actual GMC Cyclone or Typhoon or whatever they are that come from the factory with the turbo, I mean, this would be like a $40,000 rig or something. Get a good look. It's a 91. And that's a 4.3 V6 that they put that turbo on. Power windows even. How many miles? 143,000. Just, this little sucker's in real good shape. Kind of a shame. I guess that's the way it goes though. Well, we made it home from the junkyard. I thought you guys might want to take a look at what we got. We spent about $250 at the junkyard. I'll grab the camera and walk you over here. Look at what we got. So we got a couple taillights for 99 Chevy, because I know a fella, he's been driving around with no taillights for a couple years at least. I got some wiper blades, or arms, off of a 94 Trans Am or I guess it was just a Firebird. These have got the modern plastic that covers the wiper arm up. Makes it look a little slick. Found a big old giant speaker amp cable. That was just laying in something. You know, these are good to have. You never know when you're going to need another 3 foot of welding cable. I got a couple mirrors for that Corvette I'm working on because it's missing the rear view mirrors, and this one's kind of cool. It's got map lights. Grabbed a mirror for a 94 Firebird because, you know, it's a Firebird and not a Camaro, so you can't just get a mirror like for a Camaro, even though they're kind of the same thing. I grabbed the carburetor hat off that S10 Blazer thing we were looking at. If you've ever tried to turbocharge something, well, you know, 10 years ago it used to be hard to get something like that. Now they seem to be all over. Grabbed a couple speakers for that Corvette I'm working on. If you work on LS stuff, you know, you probably know why you need spare spark plug wires around. Grabbed a headlight controller out of that 94 Firebird. Grabbed the ECM holder out of that 94 Firebird. Grabbed a couple of corner marker lights for Dodge, and then I got this nifty little air cleaner. It fits a 4-barrel, and when you work on odd stuff that's got a low hood line, or you put a 350 Chevy where it don't belong, a lot of times there ain't no room for a good sized, might make enough horsepower air cleaner. So you got to use something small like that. So that's our junkyard haul. Thanks for watching.